And we finally have a series. I apologize for the extended break, but I hope you enjoyed the brutal OST as we are jumping in mid-series. As a reminder, the winner of this best of 3 goes up against Kellizer in the next round. Diego, he just dismantled Skillus, and now we're up in game 5. Oh my god. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the German Protoss player representing big Berlin International Gaming. It is ShoWTimE. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Protoss player representing Starlight Twinkle. It is ReWhite. I am a bit in shock, a bit in awe. We are in the ace match, game 3. ShoWTimE is one of the best Protosses in the world. He is top 2 in Europe. And for him to be, or to drop a map to ReWhite is very shocking, very surprising. I wish I was able to have watched the previous couple of games here to see what the hell happened. But I'm excited. I'm very excited to see how this all comes together. ReWhite, show us what you got. Por favor, papi, por favor. So far, double gate opener here in this PvP, as to be expected. Both players going for some standard openers for the time being. We do have a probe moving out across the map, but again, it's just a scout. Both players just keeping an eye on things. ReWhite does throw down his second pylon in his main. Likewise, second pylon is thrown down for ShoWTimE as well, so no one is trying to fake out the other. No one is going for any kind of fake or even real proxies. Standard 2 gate on 1 base. So that for now. Yeah, when it comes to what's happened this series, we can merely speculate, and I have to assume that ReWhite cheesed out ShoWTimE. Like, cheeses do occur in PvP, and you can catch your opponent off guard with DTs or like a 1 base all-in or a proxy. There's so much available to you. As I say that, ReWhite is going for a Stalker Sentry opener. Okay, he's going to be going for a very safe, very defensive opener, so yeah, going for something a little bit more macro-oriented. Meanwhile, across the map, ReWhite, he's going to try and delay the expansion, throws down a pylon, is going to get an eye on the first 2 units as well, as the Stalkers do avoid the pylon, and they're waddling across the map. We start off with 2 Stalkers, we have another 2 Stalkers on the way as well, and we will finish the pylon, not cancel. 2 Stalkers have been revealed, so ReWhite knows that his opponent has quite a lot of firepower available to him, and ReWhite's goal here is to avoid those Stalkers and to sneak out with these Adepts. On top of that, with this Sentry opener, what value it adds is a scout. We can send out a hallucination and get a read on what tech is thrown down for ShoWTimE. We do have ShoWTimE with a cheeky probe out on the map. We could potentially throw down a pylon. For now though, looks like he's coming in for another scout. Oh, and is it gonna come across some Adepts? Oh my. ShoWTimE, I'm sure, did see it ahead of time, but he's moving out across the map with his first 4 Stalkers. And can ReWhite hold? It's going to be close, but the shield battery will finish in time. It will finish in time, and we should be able to keep these units alive. Second Sentry arrives as well. Oh, the shield battery is about to run out of energy, so ReWhite has to be careful here. Likewise, ShoWTimE taking some hull damage, but ReWhite will lose a Sentry. Big pig off here for ShoWTimE. At the same time, 2 Adepts get across the map, but remember, they got scattered earlier, so ShoWTimE is in position and does deflect them. Meanwhile, we have our tech of choice, Twilight Council, for both players. Blink is on the way so far. Both players are mirroring each other. There have been some slight deviations and slight differences. The biggest ones being that, you know, we have these 2 Adepts that can harass. They have a lot of potential available to them as they threaten the shade in towards the main base for a second time, and they will commit to the shade. Bit of a misclick though. They target fire the pylon, so these Adepts will go down. They get 1 probe, but they will only get 1 probe. Unfortunate there for ReWhite, not quite worth it in the end, and that means he will be behind in the overall Stalker count. Did he lose his second? He did. ReWhite, he lost his second Sentry as well, so he doesn't have a follow-up scout. He actually doesn't know what kind of tech he's working against. He hasn't seen, he doesn't know. ShoWTimE has. ShoWTimE with his own hallucination. He saw the Twilight Council, he knows Blink is on the way. He's fully aware of what his opponent is capable of. And he's just making sure nothing is hidden out on the map. Both players are. When it comes to proxy dark shrines, they are a real possibility. Third base is taken. ReWhite just taking a more defensive role here. ShoWTimE delaying his own third in favor of additional Stalkers. If I say that, ShoWTimE, he's ahead in Stalkers. He has 2 Adepts as well to harass. He's pulling everything together. But that shield battery is seconds away from completing, so ReWhite, he can muster a defense here. So he does force ShoWTimE back. Meanwhile, the Stalkers are being pulled out of position, and in come those Adepts. That's the real goal here for ShoWTimE, to distract the army and to go in for a backstab. Now these Adepts, they have been spotted by ReWhite, but they commit to the shade. They will get 1 probe. Up, up. Can they get another? So far they cannot. Shield battery is too good, and ReWhite minimizes his losses here. Very nicely done. Does defend quite nicely here as he gets his third base up and running. Likewise, ShoWTimE isn't too far behind with his own third as we get into Immortal production. We have the first Immortal on the way for ShoWTimE. Forge as well for upgrades. Speaking of upgrades, ReWhite already has +1 on the way, but is only seconds ahead of ShoWTimE. So not the biggest deviation, not the biggest advantage that ReWhite has. Upgrades are pretty similar. Really, it comes down to the Immortals that are coming out from ShoWTimE. His army is going to be a little bit more complex and going to have a little bit more firepower with that Immortal. Saturation is looking pretty comparable as well. Remember, ShoWTimE, his third base was slightly faster than ShoWTimE's. That's why ReWhite has a slightly higher worker count, but nothing too major. Nothing too significant. As both players back off, and yeah, we're just getting into the mid game. Hallucination comes in, getting an eye on the gas count, the saturation, and the gateway explosion. This also tells ShoWTimE, okay, there's no Dark Shrine, there's no Robotics Bay for Disruptor production, there's no double Robo Immortal production. He's aware that it's still just Blink Stalkers. He also checks the third base. And the Observer of ShoWTimE does reveal the army of ReWhite. Looking at the units here, ShoWTimE slightly has less Stalkers, but only by 1. And with the Immortal, with the Shield Battery, with the Overcharge, ShoWTimE, he should be able to hold on. ReWhite, he's just checking the 4th base locations. He's just making sure that ShoWTimE is stuck on 3 bases, and ReWhite takes his own base. So ReWhite, he has map control, and he uses it to get ahead economically, or to try to. Meanwhile, ShoWTimE likewise moves out as well. Armies will be clashing. ShoWTimE does end up losing one of his Stalkers. Ugh. Again, ShoWTimE, he has to force this army back if he wants to expand. And we do have to respect the Immortal. Another Stalker goes down for a ReWhite this time. ShoWTimE is slowly getting his base. Now, this is a very vulnerable base location, so a very bold move here from ShoWTimE. I do feel like ReWhite is going to take the role of the aggressor, but for now, he does blink 1 second too late, loses another Stalker. And you can see here ReWhite just bleeding out a little bit too many units. Oh, no, sorry. ShoWTimE, he killed 1 Stalker. ReWhite, he got some Zealots. Got some Zealots at least. As he's bringing everything together, charge is now done for ReWhite and ShoWTimE. Zealots are going to do a great job here at tanking. They take down some Stalkers. ReWhite with his pure Stalker army, he's struggling here. Is trading more inefficiently. At the same time, Prism slips into the main base. Massive warping of Zealots that will expose the 4th. ReTime going right for it. We do drag all the Stalkers back into the main base. Some of the gateways are depowered, and this 4th base is gonna go down. ReWhite. Papi. Oh my god. And ShoWTimE, he's stuck on 2 bases. He does have a better army. You know, he's got Archons, more Zealots, Stalkers, Immortals, but economically he's behind, and ReWhite, he's going to snowball out of control with a larger army soon. It does have to respect ShoWTimE, though, as he is bleeding out a couple of Stalkers. They are being focused down. ReWhite has to back off, has to reinforce. +2 about to kick in for ShoWTimE. So we're just bringing some reinforcements forward. Oof. Here we go. The pressure is on ShoWTimE, and he knows it. He's down a base. But he has a higher quality army. He's still got +2. He's still got that upgrade advantage over ReWhite. ReWhite's still seconds away from his own. ShoWTimE is going to back off. And this is giving ReWhite the opportunity to tech up. He still doesn't have a Templar Archives. I don't like this. I don't like that he doesn't have access to Archons. Like, Archons, they add so much value, especially against a player like ShoWTimE who's got so many Zealots. Instead, Blink Stalkers, Bobby. That's all we got. Is it going to be enough? Always does have to be careful to get surrounded. Bold move here out of it. ReWhite is going to lose some Stalkers in the process. Oof. And he's just banking forces together. Here we go. Everything is now coming forward. ReWhite, he was ready for a counterattack. He's fully saturated on 4 bases. Likewise, ShoWTimE slowly getting saturated as well. ReWhite up 20 supply. And this is it. This is ReWhite's moment. Who is ReWhite? Hey, maybe watch WTL? Papi. Here we go. ReWhite pushing on forward. Gonna take down a couple of Zealots. We see another massive Warband behind us as well. He's pushing into a concave. He's pushing into a shield battery. There it is. There's the overcharge. Can ReWhite break through? Can he get on top of those Archons? He's so close. Oh, but he's going to be losing one of his Immortals. Immortal goes down, but we have so many Stalkers. And ReWhite, he is slowly gaining ground. He isn't pulling the trigger yet on those Zealots. I think he wants to work through some of these Archons first. Speaking of, Archon almost goes down, but the Immortal falls for ReWhite. There we go. Now we gotta go. We pull the trigger. We're coming in with those Zealots, and it looks like ReWhite is looking to overwhelm ShoWTimE, and I can't believe it. ReWhite popping off tonight. I don't know what happened previously in this series, but mate, ReWhite, he collapses on the army. Takes out the Archons. An Immortal survives, but this 4th base is going to be broken for a 2nd time. GG gets called, and ReWhite takes game number 3 and the series 2-1. GG. Bobby. GG, well played, ReWhite. For those who maybe are unfamiliar with him, maybe I should have mentioned before, he's more of a B-teamer on Starlight Twinkle. Starlight Twinkle, their big name players are Wayne, Chim, Nice. There are some other players on Starlight Twinkle like Young Zest, ReWhite. They both come to mind. There's another as well. There's Young Zest, ReWhite, and another notable player that does slip my mind. But regardless, you know, again, they're still like more semi-pros. They're up-and-comers in the Chinese scene. They're kind of in the shadow of Firefly and Cyan, for example, which is why this is a big result to take a series off of ShoWTimE. GG, well played. Very well played. Oh my god. Congratulations to ReWhite for taking the series and taking down ShoWTimE. A big win. Again, ShoWTimE is top 2 in Europe when it comes to Protoss. You don't get any better than ShoWTimE other than MaxPax. That's the only one. And for ReWhite to take down ShoWTimE, big win. Massive win. Congratulations. Congratulations. I'm just quickly checking the roster of styles. I know there's another player. There's Young Zest, ReWhite, and it's on the tip of my tongue. It is on the tip of my tongue. Who am I thinking of? I know there's Triple H. There's someone who maybe renamed themselves? I'm not thinking of Stargazer. Regardless, GG, well played. Congratulations, and ReWhite will be advancing on to face off against Kellizer in the next round. Let's go. Maybe I'm thinking of Triple H. Maybe. Oh boy. So the upsets, they're not stopping, Bobby. They are not stopping. Not anytime soon. And yeah, with that, we have our next series. It's going to be Kellizer versus ReWhite. Let's go.